What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Hero Chris back at you with another one. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, hit me up on Twitter, TikTok while that is still a thing. The community post, you already know the vibes. And so last night, Dynamite was on. I recorded a review. It was my birthday, so still send me happy birthday comments and all that. I'll appreciate you greatly. But I did indeed record a Dynamite review last night, and I was drinking a little bit. I can't lie to you, but I wasn't so messed up that what I was saying was messed up. What was messed up was I was recording while I was watching basketball. And when I went to go to edit the review, the sound of the game was like overtaking what I was saying. Like, you could still hear me, but you could also hear the game. And it didn't sound like the quality that I wanted to put out. So I'm going to do this again. But this time, this isn't really a Dynamite review. This is really me just talking about AEW as a whole. Like, Dynamite last night, I said in my review, was boring, right? There were good parts about the show, but overall, it was just boring. Like, there wasn't really anything to keep me interested outside of anything dealing with Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay and the little tease they're doing with MJF and Hangman, as well as the feud with Swerve and Ricochet. Those were the only interesting things to me on Dynamite last night. Everything else was just there. The Death Rider storyline sucks. I'm tired of Jeff Jarrett. And the fact that the main event was Mercedes Moné versus Yuka Sakazawa, and this whole thing was set up by a fatal four-way match on Collision this past Saturday. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is the participants involved in this fatal four-way are people you haven't seen on television in weeks, damn near months, right? Like, they're hyping up Yuka, and they're saying, oh, well, she hasn't won a match since last year. And I'm like, well, if she hasn't won a match since last year, how is it that she is in a fatal four-way match to determine who will be the number one contender to get a championship match on Dynamite? That doesn't make sense. Here lately, I haven't really put out a lot of content as far as wrestling goes. And that was due to, like, personal reasons, like just exhaustion. And with Dynamite, with AEW content, it was like the shows weren't really hitting on too much. Like, last week's show was really good. I really enjoyed last week's show. The main event segment sucked with the Death Riders, attacking the Midnight Express and killing one of them, holding FTR hostage, and then coming out to attack Cope. I'm like, what are we doing here? But the rest of the last week's show was good. The only problem was I was just really tired, and I didn't feel like I wanted to put out a review, but my body was telling me I needed to sleep, so I just didn't. But with Dynamite, man, with AEW as a whole, the whole creative direction has been really lacking. Like, there's been a lot of things that I haven't liked. Mainly when it comes to the Death Riders, this whole storyline, their whole angle, like what it is they're after, what it is they're trying to accomplish, that it hasn't really been hitting on anything. What makes it even worse was they did an interview with the Death Riders. Like, Renee Paquette interviewed all the members of the Death Riders, and they showed their motivation as far as what they're about, why they're doing this, why they're joining up with Jon Moxley, why they're so loyal to Jon Moxley. And their explanations were good. The problem with this is this has been going on for months, and we're just now getting the motivations of these individuals. You should have had this shit happen right after the Danielson attack. Like, right after Jon Moxley and them attacked Bryan Danielson, this is when you should have dropped this interview. It would have put so many things into perspective. Like, you had Claudio saying that Bryan, like, he was doing this, that the reason he attacked Bryan was to essentially save him from himself, because Bryan Danielson would keep going and going to the point where he wasn't able to play with his kids anymore. And Claudio was like, I didn't want that for him. I didn't want him to get to a point where he couldn't enjoy his children So, because he couldn't see his way out, I just showed him the way out. And he did it in a way that was really messed up. But in Claudio's mind, he was doing it to protect Bryan Danielson from himself. Pac's reason is he just hates everybody. That's just Pac's gimmick. He just hates AEW. He hates the locker room. He hates people. He hates you. He hates me. He hates himself. And on top of all that, he never wears clothes. He just wears his wrestling gear all the time. Wheeler's reasoning is, he is just showing loyalty to Jon Moxley because, even though Bryan was his mentor, Jon Moxley never turned his back on him as well. So he's just showing his allegiance and his loyalty to Jon Moxley. So everyone has their reasoning. Everyone has their motivation. And it makes sense as far as, this whole Death Rider storyline goes. But the whole situation is just lost in the sauce. Like, they're too deep, they're too far gone to have people care about what it is that's really going on. Because at this point in the game, man, I could give less than a damn about the Death Riders. I could give less than a damn about what it is they're doing, what it is they're trying to accomplish, their missions, their motivations, why they're doing it, the who, the what's, the whys, and the hows, right? It's too late in the game for me to really care, right? And they had the opportunity to do something really cool, really interesting, to have something to be kind of Bloodline-esque, and that's in their minds, that's what they're going for. But it's not hitting, man. It's not hitting. The chickens are not clucking around here. There is no reason it took the entire Death Riders to help Claudio Castagnoli cheat to beat Jeff Jarrett. I'm going to say that again. It took the entire Death Riders cheating on behalf of Claudio to beat Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett is almost 60 years old, bro. He looks to be in good shape, but he's almost 60. This is an old man. It didn't take Wheeler Yuta hitting the running knee on Jeff Jarrett. It didn't take Jon Moxley hitting a damn paradigm shift on Jeff Jarrett. It didn't take all. It shouldn't have taken all that. Claudio is in the prime of his life. He's in top shape. This dude's a machine. It shouldn't have taken all that to beat Jeff Jarrett. It took way too long for him to beat Jeff Jarrett, bro. This shit doesn't make sense. And I get it's Jeff Jarrett's last run, but I don't want to see this man fight for no AEW championship. There was a slight part of me that did want Jeff Jarrett to beat Claudio so we can get to this match between him and Jon Moxley, and we can get this over and done with so I don't have to deal with it anymore. So we can get past this whole storyline with MJF so I don't have to deal with this anymore. So we can get to something cool like MJF and Hangman. That's cool. That's something I want to see. I would much rather see that than MJF talking shit to Jeff Jarrett. And Jeff Jarrett trying to talk shit about MJF's girlfriend or fiance or his mom. And it's like, what the hell are we doing here, man? This shit is stupid. This shit sucks, man. It's not good. AEW is, I don't know, man. You see so much potential in AEW. They put on great wrestling matches. It's where the best wrestle. They beat that over your head to death. But then the weekly shows are either decent to okay to good. It's been a cool little minute since an overall episode of Dynamite has been really, really good. And it's been a while since an episode of Dynamite has been so good, it makes you excited to watch next week and the week after that. Like, you don't really get that with Dynamite anymore. It's kind of like, I'm just watching it because it's on. But I'm not really too over the moon excited to watch Dynamite, man. So yeah. I hate that my first bit of content on AEW in a few weeks has to be so negative, but that's just the space I'm in right now with AEW. Like, I still want to see the product succeed. I want to see the product get better, but it's not good at this point in the game, man. I'm enjoying bits and pieces of it, but as an overall product, I don't really enjoy it. The whole Thomas Tony Storm thing with Mariah May, I don't care. A lot of people enjoy it. I don't, man. And apparently Tony Khan is more in the weeds now. And I saw the report. I'm like, well, shouldn't he be in the weeds from jump? Because since everything has to go through Tony Khan anyway, like you're the man, you're the lead, you're the head guy in charge. Shouldn't you be in the weeds anyway? But I don't know, man. On top of all that, man, you already have the what's going on screen, and then you have the backstage shenanigans with people wanting to get released and people being denied releases, and wrestlers just not being used, and this person doesn't like that person. It's just a lot going on. I just really want AEW to get their things together, man, because I am a fan of AEW, and I just want good wrestling. It doesn't matter if it's from WWE or AEW or TNA. I just want good wrestling. Can you do that for me, please? Get back in the game, man, because it's not good right now, bro. It's not good. But with that being said, guys, what did you think of last night's Dynamite? What do you think about AEW as an overall product, on the whole, man? Let me know in the comment section below. Of course, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys take care. Peace. I'm out. Peace.